what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, North Carolina, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
We'll try not to too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we
Agree
are
to disagree.
Okay,
Moving on.
well, the makeup bottle. A little. It's like a cracked out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah, I can see that.
She's got that black hair.
Hey, welcome back to ChickChat. So glad to be back on the mics. On the mics.
On the ones
and
twos.
Makes me sound so hip. Back on the mic. Happy to be here with everybody listening. Hope your day is prettier outside than ours is here in North Carolina. It is kind of gray, kind of cold, kind of rainy.
It's a dreary day.
Kind of a dreary day. But it's always sunny in the studio.
It is.
It is sunny inside because I have my Janette back with me. Thank you. Now, I don't know how, I know you've been busy, but I don't know how much time you've had, but Cameron filled in for you.
Oh, awesome.
Last
Good.
time. Yes.
Okay. That's
so
fun.
that worked out fine.
Yeah.
She did great.
Of course.
But yeah, but I kind of missed having you here. So,
Aw, thanks. I miss being here.
It's different when you switch people of what they watch, because I know what you watch, you know what I watch. We could talk about that stuff, but Cameron had a little bit of rollover, so it was cool. So
Okay, good.
Anyway, but we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back.
You are now +1 in your family.
I am. You're a family of 4.
Oh, my goodness.
A little boy and a little girl.
How
Yes.
is he doing?
He is amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How was now? I'm not going to go TMI on everybody,
Right.
but I've known you for a long time. So I know that your first pregnancy, when your delivery, not necessarily your pregnancy, but your delivery had a little bit of drama to it.
Right.
Okay. That's all I'm going to say. Did you have to endure any drama this time?
So the drama was not really. So I was
Okay.
induced again.
Yes.
But the delivery itself, pretty standard.
Yeah.
But this time I had complications after the birth. So I still had to stay in the hospital just as long as I
What?
did for the first one. Yeah.
You're a complicated
I
lady.
am, nothing comes easy.
Keep everybody on their toes. I like
You
it.
think you know it's coming,
Right.
but watch this.
Watch Janette throw something at you. Well, I'm so glad that everything went well and
Yeah,
that
thank
he
you.
is here, happy, healthy,
Yes, and amazing.
back
yeah.
into kind of getting in your routine now.
Yeah, sleep is still a struggle with him, or the schedule with him.
# mom life.
Right. I get one night of 4 hours, 5 hours from him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we're there. We've gotten there.
We've made it
We've
over the
made
hump.
it over the
Yeah.
hump. I'm going to actually be able to sleep consecutive hours now.
He's a teaser, right?
Right. And then
Yeah.
the next day, it's like, oh, hey, it's an hour since we've last seen each other, and I
Yeah.
kind of miss you.
Just wanting to hang out
Come on in
again.
here and cuddle with me a little
Yeah.
bit. So
Nice.
yeah, but still getting used to that.
Yeah.
Things I thought I was going to get done on maternity leave.
Not a bit.
Showering is a daily goal for me now.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, if I get a shower knocked out, I am good.
It's a happy day.
So I'm like, look at me. I text everybody and my husband, like, look, I got a shower.
I got a shower.
So I'm
Somebody
like-
smell me.
Right. Like, I thought I was going to binge watch all these shows and clean and do stuff in storage and spring clean and do all that stuff. Yeah.
Not a bit.
Mason was like, you remember me? Yeah.
Attention.
I need a little bit more
Oh,
attention. than
right.
that. Right.
Well,
So, but it's good.
it's what it's supposed to be.
It
We
is.
all said it. We all say it every time, right? That
Yeah.
there's
completely worth it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, a lot's happened since you've been here with me.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff.
Okay.
We're going to start on the bad one because I want to get it over with.
All right.
Because if I don't do it now, I'm going to be thinking about it through the whole show. And then I'm going to end up sad throughout the whole thing. And just can't happen.
Right.
Rest in peace, Luke Perry.
I know.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Let me just explain something for you here. Okay, so you do get to work from home a good bit. Is that
Yeah,
true?
I
Okay.
do.
So I work in an office here, and it's all boys and me. Okay. Can I just tell you that not one person cared
Nobody came
about
to see
me
how you
that
were
day?
doing?
No,
Stop it.
no, not one person cared.
I care.
that I was in deep depression about Luke Perry dying.
I would have understood.
Look, did you see Moose? Look at me.
Yeah,
Moose,
I did. I
our
saw
producer
it.
right now, is in there, who has an office next to me. Did you ask how I was doing that day? No, you did not. I didn't think so. It was a bad day. You what?
It was like we knew. You don't know. Listen, you don't understand the impact 90210
He just
had
claimed
on our
that
lives.
because I didn't know Luke Perry personally, that I could not be upset about it.
Right.
You just wait till somebody from Fish or the Grateful Dead dies.
Oh, no.
And a long time ago. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry I didn't comfort you on that day because you weren't here beside me. I had a pillowcase with this man's face on it. R.I.P. is right.
Yeah.
So I did something that day. I called into a radio show that I listened to.
What?
Because they were having a tribute to Luke Perry. It's on E! or EW News headlines. It's a Sirius XM channel.
Yeah.
105.
Okay.
And they were doing a tribute, and I called in because they asked everybody's favorite Luke Perry memory. And
Did you make it on air?
I did.
Stop it.
I did. Totally lied about my name because I didn't want anybody to know who it was because I don't want to be like that girl. But I did. I got on the air. So, of course, we all know him from 90210.
Right.
I mean, that's obviously the biggest
Those of us that
one.
grew up in the 90s, late 80s.
Absolutely.
Early 90s, yeah.
Every night that it was on, you were watching it. I was watching reruns. I've watched the series over again. Things. I mean, it's just when you're scrolling through TV and Pop Channel has it
And I
on
still
at
get
1
mad
o'clock.
that he chose Kelly over Brenda every time.
Still get mad every time. You know, I used to get very upset. I was upset for a good 2 seasons that they had in the opening credits. Luke, he in their look, you know, they do the montage right in the beginning. And there was a shot of them all on the beach.
Right.
And he's next to Donna.
Okay.
And he nuzzles her ear in the montage.
You have to pay attention.
Made me so upset.
Why?
Why Donna? Nobody
Donna
should have
got
been
no love except for
David. I'm not a huge Donna fan. Never have been. But at that time, he was supposed to be choosing between Brenda and Kelly.
And he nuzzled.
And he's nuzzling Donna in the opening credits. Like, why in the world do y'all put that in there, showrunners? Ridiculous. That was a big deal for me. You know what else I loved him in? And this is where I called in for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
The movie or the TV show?
Movie.
Okay.
You don't remember him?
I remember the movie.
With, what's her name?
Yeah.
Swanson.
Christy Swanson or something.
See, I'm all choked up about it. Okay, so he
was in that movie.
He was Puck,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think.
So anyway, my favorite part is whenever he was in his apartment, I guess. Maybe. Anyway, he's on like the 3rd story in his apartment, and David Arquette plays his best friend,
Right.
and he turns into a vampire.
Right. Yeah, that I remember.
David Arquette wants to come in to turn Luke Perry into one.
Yeah.
But you have to be invited in.
Right.
So David Arquette floats up to the window.
Uh-huh. I'm remembering this now.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the exact order that it goes. Okay. So Luke Perry lives on this 3rd story. He's got a window, and David Arquette, his buddy, who has been turned into a vampire, has to be invited in so that he can turn Luke Perry into a vampire. And so he starts floating, like levitating, up to the window. And Luke Perry, like, wakes up and is, like, kind of groggy from being asleep and is like, what are you doing? And he's like, hey, man, just let me in, man. Let me in. And Luke Perry's like, no, man, like, it's late. It's 2 a.m. or whatever. Like, you need to go home. He's like, let me in. I'm hungry. And he gets mad at Luke Perry for not letting him in. And then Luke Perry, you can tell, kind of wakes up. And my favorite line is when he looks out the window and he was like, you're floating, man. And it's like he's the bad boy in the movie. And Christy Swanson wants to, like, be the preppy girl, but then she ends up being tough and whatever.
Slaying vampires and stuff.
Slaying them. Gosh, I miss him. Nobody here cared.
I cared.
Anyway.
And of course, those now watching him in
Riverdale.
Yeah.
Could you believe, I mean, he was like still very on the show.
Yeah, I'm way behind, but
you've been watching some.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so yeah, he's very much a part of that show.
Yeah.
Not like a one-time character type thing.
Right.
So lots of tributes went out. Big deal, obviously. Will be missed. Lots of cool stories being heard after the fact, but unfortunately he was 52 years old. Passed away of a massive stroke. Just didn't come back out of it.
Now, were you the one... I don't know if you sent me an article or if I saw it on Facebook about why his death hit people our age really hard.
That wasn't me. I didn't send it to you, but I want to know why.
Well,
I mean,
it was
I know why.
it was a really well written article, and it was beyond anything like his accomplishments as an actor or anything. But he's our age,
Right.
like
Yeah. He's in our generation.
He's in our generation. Like this is something that just not supposed to happen randomly like that, and especially to a celebrity.
And he's got kids, and
he's got kids, and the tribute from his daughter was beautiful, and just to hear I honestly didn't realize how many people he had worked with and who had stories about him. Was it? Oh, and I'm gonna make this. I think I'm gonna get this wrong, but I want to say it was Tom Hanks. Who had
Hanks.
Was it Colin Hanks who had a story about him about the airplane?
Yeah, that was Colin Hanks.
And him carrying a balloon to comfort children on the plane.
Keeps a non-blown up balloon in his bag or pocket anytime he flies on a plane.
Yeah.
Because then if the baby or a kid was crying, he would go blow up the balloon in front of him, tie it off, and hand the balloon to a kid, which, as we all know, anybody with children...
Yeah.
Instant fix.
I don't even know why I never thought of that.
Instant fix. Right. And then Colin Hanks said something like, now I'll always carry
do
the
that.
balloon.
Yeah.
I love that.
If we see it on a plane one day, we're gonna cry.
I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And then they'll hand me balloons.
Right. But I guess I never realized, and it wasn't like I was a fangirl. I mean, I was a fan because I liked him, but I guess I just never realized how much he actually did beyond 90210 and Riverdale. There was this whole in between that time that he was still working. Yeah. I just never realized.
And I kind of always, and I've been hearing too, like lots of stories, as you were saying, like people telling their stories now, but about, he was sort of always the behind the scenes, so you didn't hear the flashy news. You didn't hear a bunch of stuff about him. And that's why people kind of, I guess, forgot a little bit sometimes.
I didn't even know you had a kid.
Exactly. They forget a little bit about you at some point, but I think he kind of liked that.
Yeah.
And then, boom, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm here on Riverdale. Oh, by the way, with Skeet Ulrich and Molly Ringwald,
Yeah.
So cool. And, they're doing a 90210. Have you heard about this?
Well, yeah, I heard that they're doing a reboot of it, but is it still
It's
on?
weird. It's weird. He wasn't going to be involved.
Unless Shannon Doherty was, right?
Well, the two of them had not signed on. His was purely because of Riverdale.
Okay.
Filming, because he's under a contract with Riverdale and said the filming was going to be weird. I don't know about Shannon. You know how she is. She never does any of that.
Well, she's been sick too.
Oh, really? She had a cancer scare. Yeah.
Well, she has cancer, and she just... I guess is still in recovery.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, from what I understand, and this is, I don't know about this. The show 90210 this summer is going to be like a not mini series, but mini run,
right?
If you will, like
a limited run.
Yes.
Thing. Yeah.
And the characters are not the people. So let's say Jenny Garth, Ian Ziering, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be Jenny Garth and Ian Ziering in the show. And the show is going to be about them trying to get everybody to do a 90210 reboot.
Kind of like what they did with Saved by the Bell.
When they do that with Saved by the Bell?
That was like... Well, they didn't do it about the reboot. It was just one of those... they do a behind the... It was a movie about...
The anniversary and stuff.
Well, it was a movie about Saved by the Bell. Oh. Where it was like how Saved by the Bell came to be.
How Dustin Diamond turned out to be weirdo.
Yeah. Okay. All of that.
Well, I don't know how this is going to go, but it's already like in the works. Like it's already.
But they're playing themselves.
They are themselves.
Okay.
In a show.
Right.
that are trying to basically get this reboot back together.
Because the Saved by the Bell was actually actors playing the other people.
No, this is Jenny Garth.
Okay.
I didn't see it. And they've all signed on except for Brenda and now Dylan. So they were all on there. So yeah, so how they do Riverdale and how they also will now, because they were going to have to adjust if they said like Luke Perry would be able to come in for like special appearance on this 90210 or something if his schedule allowed. Mm-hmm. But now, I mean, the storyline's going to have to alter even if he wasn't going to be there the whole time.
Right.
You know, even if just a little bit, because somebody's going to talk about Dylan.
Yeah.
Right. Somebody's got to talk about him, right? So maybe they'll do the whole Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen thing, who didn't come back for Fuller House. And they,
But what did they say they were doing?
They essentially, like, the whole cast, like, made a comment, like, in the show, they said something like, oh, yeah, they're in Paris being famous and didn't have time for us. And then they all, like, turned and looked at the camera and, like, stared, like, what?
That's a little harsh.
Yeah, they, like, call them out on it. But, I don't know. Hey, speaking of Full House, Lori Loughlin.
Yeah.
You shady Becky, you. So everybody knows the story. Everybody knows what happened now. So Lori Loughlin, who was Aunt Becky in that, and most recently starring in When Calls the Heart of Hallmark fame.
Yes.
And every other Hallmark Christmas movie, right? Along with Felicity Huffman and many other people. But these are the two names that we will know off the bat. Mm-hmm. Have been involved in a college scandal. They're calling it like Operation Varsity Blues, I think, which hilarious. I kind of love. Yes. Yeah, they basically are being accused of getting their kids into prestigious universities by paying them.
Now, this isn't anything that's new. I mean, I think they're involved in the scheme because of the route they took to it. Yes, Correct. They bribed their way in, but they used a third party.
Correct.
To help it. So they got caught up in the investigation with this guy.
Yes.
Rich parents have been donating money and having buildings named after them forever to get their kids. And then be like, oh, by the way, I also have this child. It'd be great if you could find a place for her in your university.
Right. No sweat. I mean I'm not saying that's okay. Right. But yeah, that's no matter the university, too. You know what I'm saying? Even like small school, whatever. I'm sure that happens.
Taking someone's spot.
Exactly.
And I think in Lori Loughlin's case, it was made even worse because the kid didn't even want to go to college.
Well, she also made her hold a spot on the crew team.
Right.
When she's never played crew.
Right. Never probably been in a crew, whatever they call their boats.
Yes. The little crew boats.
Little crew boats.
I texted my brother. I have two older brothers, right? So I texted my brother, who is a professor at a university in Oregon. And I said, are we going to see your name come out anywhere? Like, just go ahead and tell me. And he wrote back and he was like, clearly you haven't seen my bank account lately because no. And I wrote back and I was like, well, you know, I would love you anyway, even if you did. I was like, because actually, I'm a little ticked off. Like, clearly my parents didn't care enough about me to make sure that I had a spot on the soccer team.
Right.
Even though I've never played soccer.
Right.
I'm a little bitter about it. But, yeah, so I think that's where all that comes in. Like you said, it's all because it's third party, and that third party got busted. Therefore, they had to give up their clients. It's like a madam, right? Like, they have to give up all the names of the people they work with.
Here's my little black book.
Yeah. Exactly. It's exactly it. And there's just happens to be kind of atrocious. I read some of the text from the audio files that were turned over to the investigation. My gosh, it's like this guy blatantly says, now, I'm by no means freeing him of any harm, but he kind of says, this is wrong. Like, this is not normal. We are doing this to secure your child a spot. And
kind of giving her a chance to get out.
Oh, yeah. They're basically like, no one is to know about this. Like, you need to repeat it. Nobody knows this. All these things. And, yeah, I mean, and almost what's so sad is that they say something about Lori Loughlin, who is married to Massimo, by the way.
They've got tons of money.
This is, yeah. she's not just, Full House fame or whatever. I mean, she's married to Massimo, the designer, Target famous, right?
Yeah.
And in the first part, it's like, we're afraid our daughter's only going to be able to get into Arizona State.
So what?
And we're all like, I'm reading it going, Arizona State? Like,
That's
I thought that's
fine.
kind of cool. Like, what?
She doesn't want to go to college.
Yeah.
I don't know which one she's talking about, but the youngest one does not want to go to college.
Yeah.
Made that clear.
And they even note that I think Felicity Huffman had 2 kids.
Now, hers I have a problem with, a bigger problem with, I think, because that was actually cheating on the SAT.
Oh, yeah.
That
They hired a private third-party firm
To correct
through
the
this
answer.
third party
Yeah.
that was the manager to come in and do a private SAT test.
and then corrected her answers that she got
Yes.
wrong. Yeah. That, I mean.
That's like double cheating,
Yes.
right? Yeah, so I get it. Yeah, I mean, people are pissed. Sure. Sucks because there's a lot of other people out there, i.e. me, i.e. you.
Who don't get extra time on tests.
Right.
And my dad worked for university. He was going to be like, come on in. He basically
Right.
told me, you'll get into the college that you get into. Like,
Yeah,
okay.
good luck. Do what you got to do.
Okay.
And then at the same time, like, I didn't do as great on my SATs as a lot of people, like, because it's just not my thing.
Right.
I'm not a good test
I
taker.
did better
but
on the
even,
ACT than I did on the SAT.
I didn't have to take the ACT.
See,
Yeah.
That's all I had to take. I took the SAT voluntarily.
Oh, God, you nerd.
I should have taken
Jeez.
it.
You're like, yeah, took the SAT for fun.
I mean, I didn't do great on it, so I probably should have just been like,
Well, I'm loving, though,
Yeah.
all the memes that are coming
I don't
out of
think I've
this.
seen a
Oh, my
lot.
gosh. All these ones from Full House. Like, there was actually an episode where DJ had like an F on a paper, and Kimmy turns it into
Turns
an
it an A,
A.
yes.
And it's like, they're like, look where Becky got this from. And then another one where
I saw the one with John Stamos, where it's that look when you find out that Uncle Aunt Becky got the
yes.
twins into college.
Yes, and then yeah, I mean, there's just so many good things
Yeah.
coming out of that.
That's the
I
only
think
one
it's
I've
hilarious.
seen. Yeah.
But I did read yesterday that her daughter thinks that they have ruined their lives.
I saw that. Oh my
Ruined their
gosh.
lives.
Get over it. Oh, because she's lost endorsements now. And she's probably, I didn't even want to go to college.
She's like, college sucked. I didn't like it. Look what you've done now.
Amazon, the only thing I liked about it was Amazon Prime made my dorm room look awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I guess I just don't understand people's mindset behind this.
Here's my thing. If I have a kid who doesn't want to college, obviously I want my children to go to college. I do.
Right.
Yes. But if I have a kid who's sitting there saying, I do not want to go.
Right.
This is not what I want to do. Yes.
And here's why. Like,
Here's why I don't want to do
Yes.
this. Or, I want to take a gap year. That's something we can talk
Absolutely.
about. But just don't
Look at
want to
you,
go to
so
college.
European, calling it gap year.
A gap year. My first thought is, of course I'm going to be upset. 'Cause I'm like, I want you to go to college. You
Yeah.
need to go to college. You need that degree, whatever. And again, the reasons behind it, we would discuss, and I'm sure
Yes.
there'd be circumstances as to why. But at the same time, I don't know that I would push that child who does not want to go to college to go, because it's going to be a waste of my money, because they're not going to do
they're not gonna
as
do
well
Yeah.
as I would like them to do to
Yes.
stay in the college. So why would I do that? And then my kid will be like, I didn't want to be here. I told you to save your
Yeah.
money, right? Like,
Well,
so-
there was one of the parents. I don't remember if it was Felicity or if it was Lori, but one of them had a second child that, when interviewed with this third party guy, they were basically like, "We're not worried about the second one because she's the good one." Like, they,
she'll get in.
yeah, they were kind of like, she can do it. She's
one,
gonna be fine.
She's not so smart.
This one, I need you to give
her
her
a
the
little
answers
boost.
to the SAT.
The thing that was very funny to me is when this all broke.
Yeah.
Lori Laughlin's, or Laughlin, whatever her last name
I
is.
know. Whatever. Aunt Becky.
Lori, Aunt Becky's
Becky.
daughter was actually on spring break on a yacht with
like the president of the. Oh my gosh.
some bigwig at the university, and like, oh well, their daughters are friends. That's probably not the best place for you to be.
I
Obviously,
think,
they didn't know it was going to break, but could you imagine? She's probably like on the yacht, like, oh my gosh.
And the president's like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because
It's just,
they're
did you
firing these
know?
people from these universities too that had a hand
yeah.
in it, because they obviously,
And that's my question. Did he know?
I don't know. And then, there was one, like, local here.
Yeah, Wake Forest.
Oh,
it was on the paper this morning.
I know.
And then you go back and then you have that whole thing. What do you do now? Like, do you keep them in school?
Do you go to Arizona State?
Arizona State's like,
everybody, Arizona's like, never mind.
No, you put us down.
Listen what you said.
You will not be a Sun Devil.
No. I do not care what your mama paid.
Yeah, I mean, do they stay in school? If they're doing well, I mean, is it justified kicking them out at this point?
I guess it's another one of those situations, though, too, where it's like, let's hypothetically, because I don't know, let's hypothetically say, like, Felicity Huffman's child really wants to go to college, really wants to be a nurse or whatever, like something that they're working towards. And Felicity and them were just basically trying to give her that leg up, right?
Right.
So once you're in college and you're there and maybe you're working extra hard or you have to get tutors or whatever, but you're there and you're doing it.
On your own.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, how far are you pushed into that fire? How...
Do you get your education taken away from you?
Exactly.
Because you
when
didn't
you're doing the work now.
Originally, but now you're there.
You're doing the work now.
It's a hard...
That's a fine line.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm glad I'm not the one to have to answer it.
I mean, to be honest with you, I would transfer.
Amen.
I could not stay at school.
Absolutely.
Or do online courses because you can't... I mean, they're going to have students whose parents are working hard. And in some cases... kids whose parents, or they had to take out student loans, or their parents are working 2 and 3 jobs just to help them there.
Yeah.
And then you walk in here.
Oh,
Yeah, you're no one's favorite.
I don't care if anybody knows that you're
not getting invited to the parties.
That's
and
right.
There's not even invites in college, but when you show up, party's
you don't
over.
get to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel I would definitely have to transfer.
I would absolutely take that gap year then.
I'd like to phone a friend, please.
I'd like to opt in for my gap year at this point.
Can I redshirt my freshman year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I get a haircut.
Go to Europe for a while. Maybe I go to school in Europe.
Start wearing hats
Go to
more
school
often.
in Canada. Are the schools in Canada? They're good.
Yeah, I'm sure there's schools in
I
Canada.
mean, are the schools in Canada, like, can you transfer your credits there?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, can you transfer from
Not like, are there
to
schools in Canada, but like, do my grades, do my courses transfer?
I wonder that. Like, if you, do they have like the same
Canada,
system?
let us know.
Somebody
If
from
for some
Canada.
reason we need to send Olivia Jade to Canada, will her credits transfer?
First of all, will you take her? Second of all, will her credits even transfer? Do you have any presidents with yachts? Because she prefers those schools.
She likes friends like that.
Yes. Ugh.
I mean, when your daughter is when your Massimo is your dad, you don't just hang out with the regular college folks.
Right. Surely she's not going to Theta Chi parties on the weekends.
Why is the president? How can the president afford a yacht?
Why is he?
Let's circle back to this.
Let's have that conversation. Why does the president have a yacht that he's allowed to take students out on? I don't care if he has a daughter or not. Yeah. I don't care. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, there was like rule. I mean, I don't know if like you had to have permission slips to ride in the car on a field trip with somebody. Why is the president taking you out on a yacht? Sounds like some investigation needs to be done there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's like,
USC.
let's slip by that one with all the. There's bigger news than this.
Is University of Southern California that prestigious?
I think so.
Oh,
I think it's hard to get into.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that meme that says, "For $500,000, I better have gotten into Hogwarts." What, Moose? Do you know about USC? Is that what you're saying? Is it super prestigious? Yeah. Interesting. I mean, if y'all say so, I'll be the judge of that.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, North Carolina, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
Okay. So I have something to talk about, and I debated talking about this because I didn't know if it really fell into ChickChat.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of think it does because I'm a girl, and this is
what you want to chat about,
basically.
Okay.
Because it's my damn show. That's why I'm saying it. Right. Okay. So I've talked about this on the show before. We've just never had a reason to dive into it. So there is a new Netflix movie out called The Dirt.
Oh.
Do you see it? You have not seen it?
No. Because
it's the story of Motley Crue.
Oh, okay. I've heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's based on their book called The Dirt.
Okay, so
And somebody's now made it into a movie.
Okay.
It's not them. It is a biopic. So it is.
Okay.
It's essentially
Someone
like a VH1
behind the music.
Temptations. No. Like it's a movie.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So,
you're saying like the Temptations movie?
Yeah, girl, I love the Temptations
It's on
movie.
all the time.
And I love it.
It's good. It's so long.
It is long. I actually have the DVD of it.
Do you?
Don't judge.
I'm not judging.
I love it.
It's a good movie.
It's a real long one.
It's really
But I think
long.
they learned their lesson with that because now they're all
Wasn't
like,
it like on
whatever.
all week when it came on? It was like a 5-day thing.
Yes, I love it. So this is called The Dirt, and it is, like I said, based on the book. And now Netflix has made the movie of it. They've talked about it for a long time. And it was falling in that whole realm of, we got Bohemian Rhapsody. Mm-hmm. Then we were going to get The Dirt. Now we're getting the Elton John story that's coming up this summer. Oh, girl, it's called Rocket Man. Okay. You need to pull up that trailer. It looks really good. It's more fantasy musical, though. Yeah, like at one point his feet come up off the ground while he's playing the piano.
Oh, jeez. Like Xanadu.
Huh?
Like Xanadu. Did we see Xanadu?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot like Xanadu style, okay? Because this one, they'll actually break out into like music, like singing while in the middle of an act.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I'll have to trust you on that one. I don't know if I'm going to see that one.
That's
I'm
Rocket
interested in
Man.
Elton John, but that's a little much.
yeah, I don't know if I like the fantasy side of it, but whatever. But the preview looks really good if you go look it up.
Okay.
Trailer. But The Dirt. Okay, so I have been secretly really excited about this. Like I said before, I've mentioned before, and it's been plenty of shows ago, that I have had a unhealthy and odd obsession with Nikki Sixx like my entire life. So he's the bass player for
I'm just looking at you like,
give me,
okay.
You give me the look like who, and
No, I
really
know
was
who
more
Nikki Sixx
why.
is, but
Okay.
knowing you, I'm like,
Right.
interesting.
Right. So when like I mentioned before, I have two older brothers. My middle brother went through this really dark hair metal stage, right? Like that was just prime.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now I'm trying to imagine that. Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't have much hair now, but he went through this just metal stage. I mean, he wore black all the time, and he had like posters hanging up in his room of like Poison and Warrant and Motley Crue.
Wow.
Okay. Well, since I'm the youngest, my oldest brother was already like in college by the time I was getting, somewhat cool, if you will, I guess, right? And the middle brother, I just wanted to be like him and his friends. Like I wanted to, any sibling, I guess, has that at some point. You're trying to do anything you can to like fit in and seem cool, right? So he had a poster of Motley Crue in his room, and I basically did my best to learn everything about Motley Crue that I could, and started. I kind of know Motley Crue.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my hidden talent.
That is interesting.
I could win the category in Jeopardy.
Now I know to pick on trivia night.
Right? For the whole Motley Crue category.
Motley Crue, all of it.
All of it. Mary Margaret's got Motley Crue. Yes. So I've read the book. Totally.
You are like into this. Wow.
I'm not joking.
I believe you.
Totally. Big fans. Somebody asked me the other day, they were like, so why Nikki Sixx though?
Yeah.
Okay, out of the whole group.
That's interesting, yeah.
So, one, he was the cutest.
He is cute, yeah.
Two, he always seemed like the smart one because, believe it or not, while I was looking at Luke Perry pictures in Teen Bop and Tiger Beat, they actually would interview people like Nikki Sixx or Vince Neil or things like that because by that time in the 90s, Motley Crue had gotten sober.
Oh, okay.
And so they would do the bad boy interview, right? And it would be like this hair metal guy. So it didn't fall in line with Luke Perry.
Right.
But yet
the feathered hair versus
they would talk to them, right? And so I even would read things in there. And Nikki always seemed to do the interviews. So I always thought he was the smart one. I also thought this probably disproving the fact that he was the smart one, but he died twice. Like I
heard that.
He's died twice from like a freaking OD, on heroin. And so, and then both times, like he's clearly alive now. So, like, and if you follow him on Instagram, like, he's does photography now, and he's had radio shows for the last, like, probably 10, 15 years. Like Nikki Sixx at night or Nikki Sixx AM. Like, anyway, it is...
He's got the perfect name.
I've totally listened to those, too. Like, one's on iHeartRadio, and one you used to be able to get on 95.7 and late at night. Nonetheless, I got it. Motley Crue, kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about this. Note to everyone out there, I don't care who you are when you're... But this film, first 45 seconds is very clearly obvious that you need to not be watching it with anyone under your age, pretty much. Like, it's extremely TNA all over the place.
Oh.
All over the place. And I'm not
sure the kids are
way asleep. Way asleep.
Not in the house.
Correct.
Okay.
Way asleep. As in, there's literally one shot at the very beginning, and they like freeze frame it. And I can't even say it.
You're blushing.
I'm blushing. I can't even say it. Like, I don't even know who this woman is that feels comfortable enough to do this on camera, but whatever. Nonetheless, okay. I'll tell you off mic because it is crazy. But it's like within the first minute of the damn movie, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the movie's not great. I'm just going to be obvious. It's not great. It is low budget. It's only an hour and 45 minutes. I mean, to tell
a whole story.
Story, which that happens with all of them, unless you're the Temptations, of course, and you get 4 hours. But, like, there's a lot of story to tell. But for anybody that's watching it, because I've heard a lot of criticism of everybody being like, oh, my God, they left out so much stuff, and there's this and this and this.
Well, 45 minutes.
It's really hard to show a whole lifetime of a band. Plus, they tell a little bit of background from all the members, like where they came from. So, I mean, you're already eating up some of that. But they each take a different time, which is what happens in the book, too. Like, first is Vince talking, and then Tommy's talking, or whatever, right? But it's just pretty interesting, I think. Like, I don't know.
I'll watch it.
If you know anything about, like, that song.
Tommy Lee in it. I was a Tommy Lee fan.
Well, okay. Okay, do you know who plays Tommy Lee in this movie?
Is it his son?
No.
Okay.
Could have been a smart move, but it's Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's playing Tommy Lee.
That's weird.
I know, but after you start watching
Does it work?
After you start watching it, you're like, okay, I get it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
A rapper played a hard rocker, but they don't look anything alike.
Yep. But I mean, he's got the long, the black hair and the tattoos and everything.
Skinny.
He's tall and skinny. Yeah. But then the other guys that play, I mean, I don't know. I personally thought they did a pretty darn good job.
Okay.
Ozzy Osbourne makes an appearance because they used to open up for Ozzy.
The real one?
No.
Oh, okay.
But someone who I think does a pretty damn good 80s Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, blonde Ozzy?
Ish. Blonde tips Ozzy, yes. And it is a story that I've heard several times. So I know it's true, but made in the story. And it's the time when Ozzy snorts a line of ants on the ground.
That,
Yeah. Like they show that him doing that, and then looking up something else that I won't go into. But, they just, everybody's like, why'd they have to put that in there? Why didn't they show more like performing on stage and stuff? Well, their music's playing in the background like the whole movie. But you don't see them on stage all that much. Mainly, they're talking about the debauchery and the sex, drugs, and rock and roll that went into literally how in the hell are these guys still alive?
Yeah.
That's what you're watching.
Is Pamela Anderson in the movie?
No. Heather.
That's kind of after.
Yeah, it is.
Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear.
Because she was 80s.
Correct. Tommy. So she's in a couple scenes. I mean, she's not big deal, but I mean, it's the meet and the leave you see.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really strange. Vince Neil had a daughter that died of cancer, and so she was 4 years old, and so they do touch on that a little bit because that did affect everything in the band.
And I'm probably getting this completely wrong, but is he the one who doesn't drink or smoke or anything?
Maybe now,
but he did.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I might be confusing that with somebody else.
Okay. No,
But he left for a while, right? When he and
Vince
Nikki
and Tommy did.
Tommy did too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
I know they had he and Nikki Sixx had some struggles, right?
Yes.
Because Nikki Sixx is kind of like the de facto leader of the band, right?
Yeah, like he's actually sort of the one that kind of got them
Got them all together, yeah.
Right. Like they
He
got
writes a lot of the songs, right?
He is. He's
Yeah.
a songwriter. There's another reason that I liked him was because he always had like meaning to these songs and stuff, right? So there were a couple like Mick Mars. He's
I like him. He looks odd to me, but I think he's
super odd.
like
but,
always quiet.
yes. So he has like a really rare bone disease.
Okay, see, now I feel bad.
I know, but he has a real rare bone disease, and so they addressed that. You know,
Yeah.
like at one point when the band broke up for a little while, like he got a damn new hip, and then they came back and they were like, "Hey, we're picking it from the hospital. Like, let's go be in the band again." But he's kind of the weird like. He makes one comment at some point in the movie that's something about like, I respect women too much to do this, this, and this. And they kind of portray that like he was not the trashy one necessarily, but he was more the odd one,
Yeah.
right? So he played into that role in a different way. Yeah, and Tommy, like they kind of give you this little background on Tommy of, I mean, he was this good kid that came from a great family and the parents loved him. And he's got a sister who she's actually gone on to like be a kind of a metal guitarist and stuff too, but like he's a good kid, happy kid, and then he meets Nikki Sixx,
What I find interesting about a lot of these rock band type people
yeah,
is that when you dig into their background, what's interesting to me, and especially being older now, I think maybe when I was younger I wouldn't have found it so true. I would have been like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But is that they all were like started in band. Like high school
Absolutely.
band, middle
Yeah,
school
yeah, yeah.
band. They were all like the drummers or the percussionists or they
Yes.
played trumpet or trombone. And those are the ones coming. And if you think about it, of course it makes sense because your football players and, soccer players are just your people playing chess aren't going to be like, hey, you know what I want to do today? I want to start a band.
I want to write a song.
I don't know how
Yeah.
to play guitar or anything, but we'll learn.
Yeah.
The
No.
people who are already into it are the ones doing it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to me that the people that you get the band kid, the band geek, or whatever
Yeah.
people call them in high school, those are the Adam Levines and the Tommy
Absolutely,
Lees.
yeah.
They were in marching bands.
Yeah.
Like I have several friends who are in marching band, and they're the coolest people
Yeah.
ever. Like some of the people who were in band in my high school, a lot of them, I don't know all of them obviously, but the ones that I know, very, very cool and interesting
Talented,
people.
too.
Talented.
Because once you can figure out like reading music
Yeah.
and figuring out stuff, you can usually pick up a couple different instruments.
Yeah.
So, obviously Tommy, drummer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, and I don't know if this is exactly true or not, but I wish that it would have like gone on because it was just almost one of these moments where you're like, oh. So I've always known that Home Sweet Home,
Yeah.
the song, which I love.
Oh, yeah, it's a good song. It's probably one of my favorites.
That's one of
Yeah.
my favorites, right? So Home Sweet Home was truly written because like they were all homesick. Like they didn't know what to do, how to kind of get back to where they were supposed to come from or whatever. That's what Nikki wrote it for.
That's one of my favorite videos too.
Me too, where they all like it's slow motion and they're rocking back and forth. I love it. So, but in the movie, Vince had been gone after getting in a fight and like losing his daughter and all this stuff. And they're sitting in the studio and they're kind of waiting to see if Vince shows up that day that they had asked him to come. And you hear that dun 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 dun, dun from the beginning of Home Sweet Home, and they kind of pan over and it's Tommy playing it on the piano. And then Vince walks in and he stops playing. And so it's kind of like I wanted to hear like more of the song, but it was just neat. I don't know. It was a neat little tie in there, but I do love that song. Kickstart My Heart was literally Nikki Sixx
Sixx
saying,
dying.
I
Yeah.
died. And this, that's what he wrote it for. And so that just plays like in the background one time too. So it's weird. You don't get like, did you see Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
Okay. So in Bohemian Rhapsody, you see him in the studio a lot and they're doing a lot of this like singing. So you see some of the more of the songs. And whereas this, there wasn't a lot of that. It was them in their life and some of their music was more like the soundtrack playing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I have to watch it.
I'm not saying it's a great movie by any means, but I watch Hallmark at Christmas, so I don't have any room to talk about whether or not it's great, But yeah, I mean,
I'll watch it.
it's called The Dirt for a reason. After a while, you're like, God, you guys, I don't know.
You'll never be the same watching them again.
Yeah, so I heard this interview, real quick. I heard this interview with, what was the guy, Alan Hunter, who used to be the DJ on MTV.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, back at the original DJs, right?
The VJs?
VJs, excuse me. So Alan Hunter had said, and Mark Goodman.
Yes.
Okay,
of course.
so these,
Mark
right? Goody. So they interviewed, or they were talking about the movie The Dirt. Mm-hmm. Now, these two guys know Motley Crue. Like, they know them from over the years, right? Like, not like they hang out personally, but like they've met them so many times and stuff. And so, of course, they had a lot more like criticism over it and everything. But, you know, I will say like Alan Hunter was like, okay, look, like people think like some of this stuff was a little extreme in the movie, like the women just like basically walking in, looking at Tommy and like dropping their underwear. You know, they were like, but that's how that was. Like women literally like moved to LA to like be on the Sunset Strip where they know that people like Motley Crue, as well as all these other bands that were famous then, where they were. Like that Sunset Strip is where they all like lived and had their studios and everything. They were like, they would come out there purposely to be in that scene so that they could maybe be one of these girls. And so when you're watching it on the movie, you're just like, oh my God, have some self-respect. You know, like, come on. But then, I mean, that's just the way it was. Yeah. Like, that's how it was. It wasn't like they're degrading these people in the movie and stuff. And
I mean, Almost Famous, they traveled with the band.
They were Band-Aids.
They were groupie Band-Aids, groupies, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, so it's just crazy to watch. You know, I mean, there's really not a lot of hashtag Me Too going on in that. But, again, Nikki Sixx, Tommy, all of them on Instagram and stuff, you know, they're promoting the movie, of course, because they all had a hand in
doing
it.
I was going to ask if
they were involved because it was based off their book, which they wrote.
They did?
Yes.
Okay.
They had somebody piece it together in the way that, like, Vince tells one story, Tommy tells another.
So they all, like, wrote their own chapter?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And then somebody comes and cleans it up or whatever. Yeah. But, like, it's just crazy. I cannot imagine a lifestyle even remotely.
My life seems so dull.
Right.
But do I want that kind of excitement? I don't really need to die twice.
I don't need to die twice. But man, like, I don't know. There was just something about some of the stories you hear and you're just like, man.
That's living hard and fast.
That was crazy. Like, Nikki Sixx is 60 years old now. 60 years old.
Wow.
Like, what? Luke Perry died at 52.
Right.
Come on now.
Doesn't that, like, he died of a stroke, just living his life.
Being on Riverdale. Dude dies twice. Gets brought back.
60.
There's like this part in the movie, and it's a little over the top, and that's why I think it's funny, because clearly nobody could have told somebody this. They just improvised this. But when Nikki dies, like basically one time, when Nikki dies that one time.
The first time.
Yeah, right. They only show one time in the movie, which is weird. But they show him in the ambulance, and they're trying to revive him in the ambulance. Well, that beep you're hearing forever, and they're just like, dude, it's done. Like, it's done. We got to stop. And this guy's like, nuh-uh. Like, we can't. Nikki Sixx, man. We're not letting him die in here. Like, this is Nikki Sixx. And you're like, were you? Like, were you doing it like that? You know, or whatever.
I could have been a fan. It was an EMT.
Well, and that's
like,
the thing.
Not in my ambulance.
Well, and that's what they were kind of saying was like, I'm not going to be the one that let Nikki Sixx die. You know, and so you're like, okay, these guys were known in a freaking ambulance, you know? I mean, and so, he gets brought back from the dead twice. And now, I mean, he's essentially a totally changed person from it. You know, I mean,
I've only needed one time, but sure.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know why you took a second chance, but whatever. So anyway, if anybody is looking for some debauchery or some filth to watch over the weekend, go ahead and check out The Dirt.
But beware that you might want to watch it by yourself.
Please watch it by yourself. Please don't watch it with like anybody that you might
like
be
your kid. Like, oh hey, look, here's a video. Here's a movie about
Here's the songs that mommy liked when she was younger, and then you're like, teenage. You're like, never mind.
It's a girls playing in the background.
Literally. I mean, it's, gosh. I can't even.
Okay, you're blushing. Let's move on.
I told you, I'm even like getting a little bothered by it right now, but whatever. So since you have been gone, J-Lo and A-Rod are now official.
I love them.
I'm fine with that.
I like it.
I like this a lot.
They
Screw everybody for being upset with J-Lo for being engaged so many times. I don't care.
Who cares? It's not my life.
She's found her.
She looks
somebody,
amazing,
whatever.
and she's like 50, but
and he looks amazing, and they look alike. They're sort of like brother sister.
they do. And they seem to have a cute relationship.
That's
And
what
I
you're
don't
supposed to do.
care about whether he's been a womanizer in the past. You know, what cares? Is she happy? Does she think he treats her well? Does he treat her well?
Right.
Does he love her kids? Do they, you know?
Yeah.
But do you know, like, do you have those couples where you read about them or you see them on TV or on your phone or something in videos or just whatever, and you find yourself smiling?
Of course.
Like, they're that couple for me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you who else is. And
They're your Motley Crue.
They're my Motley Crue. Like, I find myself, it's like
So
some of these
weird.
things you watch with like a straight face, like, yeah, okay. I always find myself after I've watched it realizing, oh my gosh, I'm smiling. They're making me like happy.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my other non-couple that
Okay.
has done that since the time I've been gone.
Okay.
I'm fangirling a little bit over the non-existent relationship of Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga.
I mean,
They make me like, I was like giddy the whole
performance.
I was like, oh my God, kiss her.
I know, with your girlfriend right there in the
I
front
mean,
row.
I
Go right
forgot.
ahead. It's
I'm gonna
okay.
be honest. I forgot about the girlfriend for a second. I was
So
like
did they.
wrapped up in their world.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
intense.
fangirling a little bit over that.
That was one of the most intense like performances I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh!
To
Like,
where
yes.
I was like hemmed up, like
I was like, oh,
had little butterflies,
I
right?
did. I
Yes.
was like,
yeah,
my daughter was like, it comes on the radio now. My daughter turns up there. She's like, here you go, Mom.
yeah. Go ahead and get in
Tell
your
me
fantasy time.
something. Yeah.
Go ahead.
She's like,
Yeah, no. When he like, and there's something about. Did you see the movie? A Star Is Born. You didn't. So
so
you're
now
like,
that I
don't
need to.
even
Do I
know.
need to? Like,
Yeah.
Did I watch? No, I do want to see it.
You do need to see this. So you need to see like their chemistry there because it's real interesting. Like as soon as you start seeing them together, you're like, of course, like, yes, you know, this is how it's supposed to be. And I didn't know if after the movie I would still like be able to feel that kind of emotion from that song because that song in the movie is so like
it's like
it's
a
just
pivotal
real,
point in the movie.
Yeah, I mean it's just so like strong.
Yeah.
You know, I mean it's not sappy or sad or anything. It's just strong. You know, I mean that's her coming out moment type of thing. And so I didn't know if this would translate afterwards when they start doing this whole like we're going to live perform it together and everything. And I'm like, meh, okay, whatever. But I don't know if they're still acting or if they're just that good.
They're amazing.
Because the way she looks at him
Right.
is so like extreme that
I
you're
feel
just
bad.
like, yeah.
I'm like, I don't even look at my husband like that. I
It's
don't
a
think.
little dirty. Like
It is.
I feel,
you feel like you're in a private moment
that's what
with
I'm
them.
saying. I feel a little uncomfortable.
Like, should I be watching this? Let me tell you, I cannot
I
hold
totally
eye
wanna
contact
watch.
with my husband that long without giggling.
Absolutely.
Like, he'd be like, why are you staring
Or
at me?
That's the thing. I
Like,
wouldn't be laughing. It would be my husband going, "What?
What do you want? Why are you
What?
staring at me? What's wrong?
Yeah,
what did
exactly,
I do?
What I do? Yeah, what?" And
I'm admiring you, honey. Just look at me like Bradley looks. If I said, look at me like Bradley looks like Lady Gaga, he'd be like, no.
yeah. Again, mine would be like, "Why?"
Right? Like,
Actually, first of all, my husband would go, "Who?" I'm sorry, what? Because he's just not. He just doesn't do all that stuff. But yeah, it's. I don't know. It'll be.
my husband just knows I'm like,
I'm
weird.
waiting. I'm
Like, no.
waiting for that whole like, you know, oh, by the way, we are kind of together now.
not.
But they won't be. They're not. It's
would-
just really awkwardly uncomfortable to watch. And I'm not sure how I'd feel if I was the girlfriend.
Yeah, and I'm not buying. Oh, she's fine with it.
Oh, yeah. She's like,
My
I love
husband
you
is-
guys. I think you're
Listen,
great.
as long as I've been married to my husband, if he's up on stage looking at somebody like that
And making the whole country.
and making the whole be like,
Like,
I love them as a
tense
couple
up their
together.
thighs. Yeah.
Right. I'm not okay. I'm going to go home and be like,
So let's talk.
what
Yeah.
did you use as your method for me to, like, you don't even look at me that long or like that.
What was your practice? And like then they like lean their head in together when they're singing
Right?
and then like look at each other. I'm like, oh my God, you guys are guys are going to kiss.
It's like when I thought they were. I thought it was going to be like one of those involuntary things. We're like, oh my God, we should really totally kiss right now.
Yes. Let's give the people what they want.
When she broke up with her fiance.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, her first fiance, Taylor Kenny.
Taylor.
Hi. Right.
You
Lady
get it.
Gaga pulls in some lookers.
You can get it.
But,
yeah.
But,
Didn't mean to say that out loud. So microphone
but I'm like,
here. I know. I don't quite see it because I kind of don't find her like. I think she's so pretty in the movie. That's the thing. I want her to look like Allie from the movie.
yeah, she's more natural in the movie, right?
Absolutely. And I love her. I think she looks great. And she's so like.
Oh, I thought she looked beautiful at the Oscars.
The black.
Her
Okay, I do like
and the
that.
necklace.
I wish she would do
The
something
makeup?
about that hair and makeup. Yes.
Yeah. But that's Lady Gaga.
I know.
We watched.
That's why I have a hard time
what's
with
her
it.
name? In the movie. Well, not in the movie. Her name, but her real name is like. Isn't it Samantha or something? No.
Oh, Lady Gaga's real name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stephanie.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
yeah.
Stephanie's in the movie. Lady Gaga performs.
I
right?
know.
So
I know.
mean,
That's why I kind of just wish they would. I wish we could see like.
it was just weird to me because like I
Allie
watched
and
this
Jackson
interaction
come out.
between Bradley Cooper's mom and Lady Gaga.
I know.
And I completely respect that he's with Irina, whatever her
By
name
all
is,
means.
and that they've had a child and everything. But wow,
I
mean,
think
like,
I would be questioning everything that I know.
I'm just going to revel in
there.
their non-existent relationship or their
Yes.
on-screen relationship because that was the best Oscar performance
Yeah.
that I think I personally have ever seen.
Yeah. I need you to watch the movie now.
Okay, am I going to cry? I like cry movies.
I mean,
like to
yeah,
get a good
you'll
cry every
probably
now and then.
cry.
Knowing me, I'll cry.
Have you seen any of the other Stars Born?
Maybe bits and pieces, not the first one, like maybe bits and pieces of the one from the 70s, the Barbra Streisand.
Yeah. And Chris Christopherson. Yeah, so I mean, if you know any of the story, then like it follows that, but it's just on a modern twist. So like, I kind of knew what happens going into it, but I mean, it's still good, you know. And what's that guy, Sam
Waters? No, not Sam Waters.
Sam
I know you're talking about.
Sam
can see his
Rockwell,
face.
because I love him too. He's getting lots of love these past couple years, Sam Rockwell. But Sam, was it Moose? Sam Elliott? Is that him?
Yes.
With the mustache?
That's him.
Oh my God, I love him too.
Yeah.
And he's in it. And he plays Jackson's brother.
Dave Chappelle's in this too, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I said the only reason I know is from the
Very little-
previews.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically the Jackson and Allie show. That's what it is. I mean, the whole thing. And it's just,
Okay, I'll watch.
holy smokes. Yeah.
I've been watching that performance on repeat. I'm not gonna lie. I probably watch it once a week.
Oh, I've watched it numerous times on repeat. Absolutely.
And every
There's
time
some
I'm like,
great
are they going
memes out
to
of it too?
Every single time I'm like, they're going to kiss.
Are they going to do it right now? Come on, just a little bit closer.
Maybe
just
if
a
I
little
watch
bit
it one
closer.
more time.
Yes. You know what else I was uncomfortable watching? The Bachelor.
Okay, don't even
Oh
get
my
me
gosh.
started.
Oh my gosh. Did you watch any of this?
Yes,
You totally watched Colton?
I did. I'm upset.
Why is he allowed, like,
To rewrite the rules.
to blow everybody's game up, essentially?
Let me tell you what made me mad. If I'm Hannah G, is that her name, Hannah G? The one who
Hannah-
did not get the date on the final.
Yeah. Oh, I'm suing Bachelor Enterprise, right?
And I'm upset with the. We'll get into this, but
Yes.
I really was pulling for her or Tayshia to be
Yeah.
the Bachelorette.
Me too.
Not Hannah B. I will not be watching.
I know. I
I'm
might
bored
have to watch,
already.
but I'm still.
No, I'm bored. I'm already bored.
Have you seen the guys that they've given
Yes,
her?
I'm already bored.
They're bummers already, which I kind of think's hilarious.
And I do not want. This is going to come off bad, and I apologize if this offends anybody. I feel like I'm going to be watching a beauty pageant the whole time.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want a pageant lady up
Right.
there, like, but that might be why I watch it. Is because I want to see her break the f down. Like,
If she breaks down, tell me. I'll tune
You'll
in.
tune in, okay? Because I think she will.
I don't want the perfect answers and the perfect.
She can't talk. She cannot form a sentence. Like she even says it like I like she does that all the time. So there's gonna come a time where she's gonna have to be the freaking boss of these relationships, right? I mean, like whoever's in the bachelorette role has to be the one controlling a lot of this, right? You get a rose, you go home. I'm making these decisions. Here's what I want. Here's why.
Right.
She's gonna lose it. I guarantee you.
Let me know when that happens.
Yeah. So as a recap for everybody, essentially Colton, the Bachelor, gets down to Hannah G, Tayshia,
And the one he chose.
what's her name? What is her name?
It starts with a C. Cassie.
Thank you. Okay. He even had Kaylin before that. So the four of them, he sent Kaylin home. Yeah. She's another beauty pageant one, right?
I wasn't a fan of hers at all.
Right. So this gets down to the fantasy suite week, right?
It does.
That's where you had the three of them.
You meet the parents and the meet the parents.
Yes. So it would have been, that same thing. So he's already gone on hometowns. He's met all of their families. He goes to Tayshia's. He goes to Hannah G's. They both go pretty well. The normal. Colton, are you sure you're ready for this?
What are
that
your
type of stuff.
intentions?
Yes.
Yeah.
He gets to Cassie's. He asks permission, which this is not new on the
Cassie's
Bachelor
dad
series.
is my dad. Yes.
Right. Yes. This is not new on any series though. Like if you make it that far, usually the person coming in asks permission because they're not going to see him again before that. It's just kind of tradition. That's what they've always done, right?
Yeah.
I mean, back when I used to watch The Bachelor, they did it back then. Yeah. So he comes in, he asks permission from Cassie's dad, and Cassie's dad's like, I'm pretty sure I can't give that to you. He's like, oh, okay, leaves. Then tells Cassie that later and says, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I'll talk to him again later, but I'm letting you know he said no. Well, Cassie's having doubts this whole time.
Like, you're okay with still going forward with my dad saying no.
Cassie's having doubts. She's not sure if this is real TV, if she can get past, like, the fact that they're on TV for all of this fun time and stuff, and, like, what's it going to be like in the real world, yada, yada. All of these, I feel, are valid thoughts. Great. Good for you. Then he takes Tayshia on a fantasy date, stays the night in her room, admits they don't have sex because Colton's a virgin, P.S. Right. So...
Which also annoyed me. I don't care.
Nobody cares. That's the thing. Yeah. Nobody cares except Colton and Chris Harrison. And it was annoying.
Yeah, Chris Harrison's a little too invested in this.
He talks about Colton's virginity way too much. So... Colton does not lose his virginity to Tayshia. Then the next date is scheduled for Cassie. He goes and sits down with Cassie, and Cassie breaks up with him. Goodbye, I'm going to break up. I don't think I can get there. This is not right. Whatever. She leaves emotionally. I get it. That's going to be hard no matter what. I get it. Fine. But you know what? Girl, stand your ground. So she leaves. Colton flips the F out. Jumps over a fence.
That's a bit much.
Runs over out into the Portugal countryside, and they can't find him. He's all pouting.
Where's he going?
He's pouting.
Right.
Pouting in his corner. Walk in. Then finally gets in. He says, I'm done. I'm done. So he goes and then breaks up with Tayshia, who's already had a date with, and then goes to Hannah G, who he has not had a date with, and breaks up with her. So she never even gets the chance.
She had the best reaction.
Absolutely.
I'm sure her reaction was so real. I loved it.
Yeah, she clearly pissed.
She's like, you didn't even give me a chance to go on a date.
Right. So they're all mad, right? And he leaves. But then he basically tells them, like, nope, I want to go after Cassie. So fly us to Spain to go meet my family. Why? Cassie left. She broke up with you.
That's what his family was saying.
Yeah.
And here's my thought on Cassie. And I could be completely wrong. This is just my personal opinion. My thought on the whole Cassie thing, she was there to be the Bachelorette.
Absolutely.
It got way too far.
Or Instagram influencer.
Right. When he professed his love, it freaked her out because she's like, oh my God, she's going to choose me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I'm about to take this away from somebody else.
Right.
She even said that.
I don't even want to be engaged with him.
Right. I'm not ready yet.
I'm not ready yet. I might be ready if I get to be the Bachelorette.
Everything all those girls were accusing her of.
She really wanted. Because when he came back, the reason I think this is because when he came back and he said, I've broken up with the other two girls.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to go on with this. Her face was just kind of like dropped. And she's like, I'm trying to think of what. And she actually says out loud, I'm trying to think of what to say.
I'm so confused. Like, she was like, I don't know
because there's no turning back for her at that point. She can't be like,
she doesn't have an excuse
Colton,
anymore.
I want to be the Bachelorette. You made a mistake.
Yes.
She can't say that.
Right.
But like everything behind her eyes is telling me he's blowing up my chances. He's not just letting me leave.
Yeah.
Because that's the story.
Yeah.
You break up with them. You leave because you're having doubts.
Yes.
What better story for the Bachelorette?
Right.
She wasn't ready then.
I wasn't ready.
She
now
wants to find out if she's ready,
yeah.
if she's found the person she's ready for in this next group of men. She has the perfect story to be the Bachelorette.
Yep.
Colton ruins that for her.
Yep.
By breaking up with those girls.
When she realizes, though, that he has dumped the other two, and then he tells her, I jumped a fence in Portugal. Okay. She's like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah.
Then the light bulb goes off in old Cassie's head that Colton's a story now. Yeah. Colton's an anomaly. Colton's going to get extra attention.
Yeah.
Colton didn't sleep with either of these girls in the fantasy suite.
Right.
I'm going to take Colton's virginity. I'm going to have the story. Colton quit The Bachelor for me. So I do get this attention now that I kind of thought that I would have before, but I'm not going to get The Bachelor now.
That's a good
I'm not going to
point.
get The Bachelorette now.
Yeah.
That's what I've been thinking the whole time, is that she's like, oh, everybody wants to know about Colton, so I'm going to just go with Colton now.
Yeah, his parents didn't seem too keen
No.
on Cassie.
I don't blame him.
His mom was kind of like,
She broke up with you already.
why are you chasing somebody who says
Yeah.
no when you had these other two?
Yeah. It was, I don't know. I felt embarrassed for him. Like, I thought, like, you were, like, you make yourself look like a kind of a fool.
And I was trying to think when his dad was talking about his last breakup, if he was talking about Becca, or if he was talking about, was it the
real
Tia girl?
Tia.
Or the gymnast?
Allie Raisman.
Like, which one are we talking about?
know, right?
That's what I didn't pay attention to. Like, I was
Yeah.
like, who was he talking about? Give me a name.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah,
I was frustrated by
Cassie is
that.
completely Bachelor in Paradise material to me.
Totally. Yeah.
And I think that's what she was aiming for, either Bachelor in Paradise
Sure.
or The Bachelorette. And then when he's like, I broke up with the other two girls, she's like,
Oh, well, here we are.
Didn't she even say at one point, you made a mistake? Did she say that? Or am I
know.
imagining that? Or is that...
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Yeah. Well, it's not... I'm not super excited about watching old Hannah B. Roll Tide.
You tell me when she
going in
loses it, and I'll tune in.
Okay. I mean, I'll monitor it because, I mean, clearly it's going to happen.
Let me tell you how annoyed I was.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to finish watching the last live version when they brought her on to give her...
Oh, I didn't either.
I was like, I'm turning it off.
Yeah, I'm done. They stretched that thing out so long this time. Oh my gosh, it was annoying to watch this last 5 episodes or whatever it was.
And I know I'm not going to enjoy watching her because when Chris was like, now you get to 10 hours, she's like, I do?
Yeah.
I'm like, you just left this. You know how it works.
Yeah.
Don't act up. The phone call bothered me. Like, me?
Oh my gosh,
Really?
when she started crying, that's how I know she's going to break down. She's going to break down. It is a...
I don't want to watch it.
I know, but we will, and we'll talk about it. So I have some questions here for you to just wrap up this episode. It's a really odd episode. I feel really weird about this one. Like, did we really just talk about like Colton and Nikki Sixx and the same thing? How dare us? Nikki does not deserve that.
Sorry, Nikki.
Geesh. Okay, so I found this webpage that was asking 31 pop culture debates that will rage on forever. Okay, so it's sort of like our this or that.
Okay.
Some of them are. Some of them aren't. And I'm not going to ask all of them because some of them we should never talk about on the show. Okay. But Paris Hilton or Nicole Richie?
Nicole Richie.
Oh, hey, girl. I hear you. Should Hermione have ended up with Harry?
Look, I don't watch. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie or watched or read the book.
Get out of my studio.
So I'm
you
going to say
serious?
yes. I don't know.
Seriously?
Seriously.
Do you know who he...
I know who Harry Potter
marry
is. Is it the redhead?
Yeah.
I think I've heard bits and pieces through like pop culture trivia and stuff and just things.
Ron is his
Okay.
name. So Hermione ends up with Ron.
Okay.
When they look forward in the future, that's what you see.
It's almost like is it like a Dawson Joey or Pacey thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
sort of. So he ends up with Hermione, and then Harry actually marries Ron's sister, Ginny.
Okay.
Ginny Weasley. They all have children at the same time and send them off to Hogwarts together.
Okay.
God, catch up. Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Star Wars.
Amen. Disney versus Pixar.
Ooh.
That's
a
tough.
tough one. I do like a good Pixar movie.
No.
I'm going with Pixar.
Okay.
But I like some. I'm a Disney.
No,
fan.
I know. It's
hard.
a hard. It's a hard one.
very
because you
hard.
can't beat something like Little Mermaid or
Right.
whatever.
The classics.
But Pixar's so good.
Yeah.
Brittany versus Christina.
Brittany.
Yeah. Pacey versus Dawson.
Pacey.
Me too. Oh my god, I love Pacey.
I always love Pacey.
I've always.
That
loved
was one of those
Pacey.
moments on TV that made me smile.
Me too.
Yeah.
And when he counts to 10 with Joey too, like that's. I love that. I love Pacey and Joey. I love Pacey and Joey.
They're perfect because he doesn't take her crap.
And she
And he tells
can
her to stop
actually
talking.
laugh around him. Yes.
He's like, just stop talking.
Yes. Were Ross and Rachel on a break? This is not a hard question. I can't believe you're having to think about this long.
No,
What?
I don't know.
You're Rachel in this?
Look,
No, they were on a break.
all she said is maybe we should take a break, and he's like, "Oh, fine by me." That was the exact line. Fine by me.
Yeah, and
But they never actually talked about it.
she said okay, and then she yelled, "It does happen to everybody. It's not that common,"
That's true.
and shut the door.
Yeah.
They
But they were on a
break.
break, but too soon. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I mean, I can give you that.
Can I
can
say
give
they
you
were
that.
on a break, but too soon?
I can give you that, but
Okay.
it was a break. Like, fair's fair.
Fair's fair.
Fair's fair. She can't judge it. They were on a break.
Isn't that from what's the movie is that?
Varsity Blues.
No, Fair's Fair is from Legend of Billie Jean.
Yes.
Like Fair's Fair.
I love Legend of Billie Jean.
Yeah.
Are you okay with Carrie ending up with Big?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I kind of like him. He's
I've always liked
her
Big.
a little bit. Yeah, I did
Aiden
too.
was a little weird,
I liked Aiden,
but he's not for Carrie.
no, but not for Carrie. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I liked Aiden because I think he was good for her,
Yeah.
like to get her through some stuff, but not in the
Yeah.
long run.
That's not her life.
No. Edward or Jacob? Jeez, did you read or watch this
I
one?
did.
Okay, good.
I'm going to go with Edward.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Jacob's like a 12-year-old to me. Katy Perry versus Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh. I have to choose either one of them.
You do.
Fine. I'll choose Katy Perry.
Yeah, me too. I agree, though. I don't really want to, like, deal with it. Team Jen or Team Angie?
Oh, Team Jen.
Yes, absolutely. NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys.
NSYNC.
Bye. I agree. Ooh, Seinfeld versus Friends.
Ooh. See, that's not really. Is that a real one? Because
That's what it says. Seinfeld versus Friends.
I'm
I mean,
gonna
I
go
can
Friends.
answer Friends because I've never seen a whole episode of Seinfeld.
I watched every episode of Seinfeld.
Never seen it.
But Friends just is. Yeah, I'm going with Friends.
Yeah. I think Friends appeals to a wider audience.
does, yeah.
To more people.
Yeah.
Which Real Housewives franchise is the best?
So I would have said Jersey,
Okay.
but I think Jersey's getting to be a little too much, and Teresa's just getting on my nerves.
She got a lot of drama going on
So
in her whole life.
yes, Beverly Hills is okay, but this whole dog thing is driving me nuts.
Yeah,
Puppygate stuff.
Apple Juice, Juicy Lucy, or whatever the
This whole
dog's name is.
Puppygate thing is driving me
that's right.
crazy.
Yeah.
They're all just kind of contrived now, and it's just
I'm
like
still
watching
OG.
it for the drive.
I am OG NYC.
NYC's good.
I am. I mean,
They all get on my nerves. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, I miss Jill Zarin. I miss her.
I don't miss Jill.
Oh, I miss Jill a lot.
Atlanta's
I
good.
can't stand Dorinda. Ugh.
Atlanta's good, but
I've never
it's
watched
becoming too
Atlanta.
much. It's going to be a little too much Nene.
They all turn into a little much.
Right. I think at some point you've got to let the originals go. Like, we got to get rid of Teresa. We got to get rid of Nene. We got to get rid of... What's the girl in Beverly Hills? Not Beverly
Teddy.
Hills.
Well, I mean, they brought Teddy in. See, if you bring a new one in, you got to let somebody go.
Oh, the OC.
Oh, yeah.
The one that the one that's always fighting with everybody.
Yeah. All of them? I don't know.
Whatever. They've got to let
that girl.
they've got to let some of the originals go.
I agree. And
I've never watched Dallas.
I haven't either. Have you been seeing the new episodes of NYC?
No.
Okay.
I do like them. They make me laugh just because their battles are just like...
And they're like older
weird.
Than some of these other girls now too, you know? So they're all...
You wouldn't know it by the way they act, but...
No. But I kind of like this whole drama of New York this time because Countess is off of her jail stint and being sued by her own children. Mm. And Bethany's fiance, not that this is good, but Bethany's boyfriend died. You know, again, not a good thing, but they address it so much that it's an ongoing topic.
Right.
And it just adds to a little bit more of the heat. And like Ramona says all kinds of stupid stuff about it and everything. I mean, it's just it.
Of course she does.
They're giving him plenty of material to work with.
I still miss the whole last season. What happened on the boat? Was it really as bad as they said it was?
Oh my gosh, no! I don't think so. No. I mean, there was like what's her name? What's the young one on New York?
Not Bethany. Yeah.
That's not married. Blonde hair. Anyway, I don't remember her name, but she's the one that booked the trip, and she was kind of like, I mean, yeah, like it got a little like rough, like from the wind. She was like, but
Ramona's on the trip, so it became like
right. But we kind of know that that's just the way it is out here. Like you're in the open water. This wasn't like a river. So
there are waves.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I don't know. Yeah. I do think it was a little over the top. Team Gail or Team PETA?
Oh, PETA.
You know, me too. Yeah. Poor sweet PETA.
I like PETA.
Uh-huh. So for those of you that don't know, you know, the Hunger Games, District 12 is right here in our hometown. Mm-hmm. It was shot right up the street. They filmed it in an old deserted mill village called the Henry River Mill Village. Pepsi versus Coke.
Pepsi?
I don't drink either. I don't know.
I don't either, but...
I like... I usually like Pepsi's marketing better, but I think Coke's more iconic, so I don't know if that makes any difference. That's all they had. There were some other stupid ones, but I'm not going to go into those. Anyway, I'm so glad you're back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, so we are now set up in the studio for Skype.
Okay.
So we can do Skype or Zoom or any of that stuff, you know, and we can do like it on the big screen with the camera here so that... And we could record the video if we wanted to, or we could just record audio. But if you ever need to like have an extra day with Mason or whatever, if you just want to put him on here and we can talk through stuff, it'll just be recording our audio. We can do that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm so glad you're back though. Yeah. And I'm so happy for you to have your family of 4 now.
Thank you. I'm adjusting. It's, you know, it's weird adjustment to family of 4 for me because there's such an age difference.
Yeah.
That honestly, there hasn't been a lot of time with both of them together yet.
I see. Yeah,
you know
yeah.
Because one goes to school in the morning, and she's busy, and she comes home, she does homework, takes a shower, goes to bed.
Yeah.
She spends a little time with her brother.
Sure.
But we eat dinner.
It's different.
Then he goes to bed. So it's kind of like,
yeah,
I'm waiting on that time where I'm like, oh my gosh, these are my 2 kids.
Yes.
Like all together.
Yes. And
she's really self-sufficient.
You kind of had to start over because, like you said, she's super self-sufficient. It wasn't like you were piggybacking off of her stuff. Right. So, and it's a boy versus you having a girl before. Yeah. So, I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to meet him. He's super sweet.
His pictures were adorable.
Thank you.
So, for all of you out there, sorry for the unique episode. Very strange, but that's the beauty of talking with your girlfriends. We can talk about anything. Whatever we want. If you guys have ideas of anything you want us to talk about, shoot me an email at info@themesh.tv, or you can find me on Facebook like some of you ladies did the other day. I appreciate that. You can also find us on Instagram. Janette, are you on Instagram yet?
I did not do my homework. Jeez. I will do it.
Come on.
I know.
It's not like you've had other stuff to do. Kidding. Get on there when you can. ChickChat.
Yeah.
It's great. Go like us, subscribe, follow along so that you can be a part of all of our ChickChat goodness. And please be sure to check out any of the other shows we have over on the Mesh. We got lots of different topics for everybody, something for everybody. There's stuff for your men in your life. There's something for movie lovers. There's stuff for music lovers, all kinds of things. But thank you for listening to ChickChat. And until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.